So I told you I owe you a story, right? From that time you pulled me off the moon. I didn't mean to get stuck there. I got stuck there. I don't want to talk about what happened there, but I owe you a story. So which one do you want to hear? You want to hear about Chronolag? You want to hear about robbing Wild West trains? Gosh, I can't even spit that out. You know, every time I try to tell that story, I'm like, robbing, but I never am able to spit it out. Wild West train robberies. Alternatively, I could go into an in-depth psychoanalysis of Chico, which we should skip that. We should skip that. You know what? Let me explain chronolag to you. So I've been suffering a lot from a lot of chronolag recently. See, Chico and I, we found a better time machine. Our previous time machine was kind of like a Fiat. You know, not that great. It would get you from point A to point B, but you were really worried about it. Now we found a time machine like a, I don't want to say Maserati, but it's a fancy time machine. You know what I'm saying? It is a sports car time machine. And I'm like, Chico, this has just been sitting in here in this cave for literally who knows how long. We got to see if it works. And he's like, I'm driving. I'm like, no, I'm driving because Chico's a terrible driver. I'm like, Chico, you remember what happened last time you drove? He's like, it was fine. I'm like, yes, but that was a train and you still almost wrecked it. And he's like, oh, well, I didn't wreck it. I'm driving Chico. So we go back to like the dawn of time, right? And just, I always wanted to see a velociraptor up close. Do you know they're not as vicious as people said? I had to slap it around a bit. But after I had understood who was boss, it was just like, okay. And then let me ride it a bit, and then it got eaten by a T-Rex. And I wasn't going to slap that T-Rex around because that's just a lot of work. And I'm like, okay, time to go back. So we go back, and I'm like, oh, I feel kind of weird. Like, weird. Like, how long were you in the prehistoric ages, Chico? He's like, well, you're struggling to talk again, so I think too long. Yeah, I know how to talk. I can speak words, Chico. I know words. I word well. I word well. I promise. But we're like, okay. No. Velociraptors are fun. Let's try brass goggles. You know, turn of the 1800s, 1900s. Like World's Fair. I'm like, ooh. World's Fair? Alright, we're good. We're going. We hop in that, we really should come up with a name for it. Yeah, later. We hop in the time machine, we go back to the World's Fair, and then around the early 1900s, we're looking around, we're like, this is great. We can pull taffy, we can eat popcorn, there's cotton candy floating around here somewhere. Chico's like, this taffy pulling is terrible. Yeah, maybe taffy pulling was a poor choice. On the bright side, I got my fill of cotton candy for like a century. Like you have no idea. I almost just stuck my head in the little whirly bit just to eat all that cotton candy. Guess I might have some of it in my hair, come to think of it. But we go back, and this just like rinse repeat for like, I would give you a period of time, but it doesn't make sense because we just kept going places we wanted to go. Well, times we wanted to go. All kinds of cool places. We went back in time and started dropping eggs on the Huns' heads. Attila the Hun still hates eggs. That's why he hated eggs. Because me and Chico hung out in a tree for like 3 days and just dropped eggs on him. And when he looked up, we just hit the time travel button. And then go back and drop another egg. It was great. Man does not like eggs. But I digress. Chronolag. The other day, I was like, oh, I feel funny, Chico. I got this weird feeling that like in my bones, in my like back, like deep-seated subconscious, that I need to ride a velociraptor. And every time I go looking out that door, I can taste cotton candy. Well, that might be because there's still some in my hair, but that's beside the point. I still taste cotton candy, and everywhere I go, I see eggs. Every time I'm at the store, I'm like, ooh, there's a nice round one. Bet you that make a big plop. And then I think about ostriches lay really big eggs. Excuse me. There's your story. I have a manda egg.